Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of December 2nd. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hi there.
We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes worrying about something or other. Wednesday is complaint day here on Parenting Roundabout, and today we're complaining about obligatory holiday traditions. So there's this piece on Scary Mommy about things you have to do because it's the holidays and, swear word warning if you read it. But it's funny. And it's stuff like, you have to bundle the kids all up in their snow clothes and make them go outside. And you have to take them to the mall and, wait in a long line and pay $1 million for a picture of them crying on Santa's lap and stuff like that. So we thought we'd talk a little bit about, now that we have bigger kids, are there traditions that we've adopted or that we feel like we should be doing? Maybe we're not. Things like my son will complain. My son, for Halloween or in the fall, there's this farm that we used to go to most years to get our pumpkins, and they have hay rides and caramel apples and all that stuff. And we just haven't gone the last couple years, and he just aren't we gonna go to the little farmer? It's called the Little Farmer. I think we're buying a pumpkin at the grocery store. So and now that they're older, when it comes to Christmas, we don't have to do, thank goodness we missed the whole Elf on the Shelf thing. But, they still, the year that we were not at home for Christmas when we went to Hawaii, my son was all out of sorts, even though he got to go to Hawaii, he was like, it's not Christmas, it didn't feel like Christmas to him. So, I think there's still things that the kids feel like they need in order to have Christmas. And I need, not a lot of people are sending cards anymore. And that was on the list in this article. You have to spend thousands of dollars on cards and postage. And I still enjoy doing it because I like getting cards. But, finding a picture that hasn't been already posted on Facebook, for one.
Right.
Family pictures, we never do.
Yeah. I don't, how do people do that? I just don't understand. Because you actually have to plan ahead for that. And then plan outfits and location. Anyway, don't get me started on family photos. Yeah.
I think the only time we really had a family photo was when they took them at church. But then I never used that for Christmas. And one year when we first it wasn't our first Christmas after we adopted the kids because we came home December 1st. And so our first Christmas was right away. But I think the following year after my sister-in-law had a baby, she masterminded us all going to Sears and having Christmas pictures taken of the kids. And she made matching outfits for all three of them.
Oh, wow.
And, hers and mine as well. And, coordinated outfits. They weren't specifically matching. And it was this, we had to stand in line to get into the photographer. And then when we finally did, her daughter was less than a year old and my son was older, but still not one to sit still. So it was quite a lot of work getting these pictures, but they're wonderful and I'm so happy to have them and I love looking back at them and they're adorable, but it didn't make me think, let's do this every year. Well, we've done this now. We never have to do this again. So, yikes.
Yeah.
And we never did I think I've talked about this on the podcast before, but we never did Santa at the mall. They just were not.
Right.
It was there's some combination of the kids not being into it and us being like, if we never do it in the first place, we won't have to keep on doing it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think we might have, in the early flush of, I have children now, isn't this wonderful? I might have done it, but we certainly didn't keep up with it. And just anything that involves going to the mall and sitting in a line for an hour and a half to meet a character of some sort. I think I did that like once and then, okay, never again. Because my son was completely uninterested in meeting the character and really not interested in sitting in line. So it was like a lengthy struggle for nothing.
Right.
So I think my sister-in-law tried to guilt me into doing it a few more times. And it's like, you know what? There is no good reason for this. This is not a necessary part of childhood. Pass. But that's pretty much, I'm looking over this list of 12 things you've got to do, and I systematically eliminated every one of these from our lives. Most of them, my kids were never interested in sitting and watching a holiday movie, so I'm like, why am I forcing this? And, our decorating has gotten less and less, our baking has gotten less and less, everything. We're just the Grinchiest of Grinches now. Yay. Well,
I'm ashamed to say that we're actually giving up the whole Christmas at home tradition this year. So I'm just packing it all in at once. Now, I don't know if we'll do the same next year, but definitely for this year, we are going to just not do Christmas in the traditional way and go away and be somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I feel like, I think maybe the only thing that we'll do is I'll bring a stocking each for the kids so they have something little to open. But of course, the kids, they're adults.
Right.
But
yeah, it's like everybody's getting gift cards this year.
Yeah.
You can bring them along with.
Yeah.
Bring your computer. You can go buy something.
The year that we were gone and I knew that we wouldn't be really doing much of anything in the way of presents, I did do advent calendars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
So that they could have a little something every day.
Yeah.
Leading up, even though, that was more their presents,
okay. Let's have a little useful content in this podcast episode.
Yes.
What sorts of things did you do for each Advent day? Was it like an edible or was it like an actual useful item that they wanted?
I bought them. I bought them preloaded. I did not set up my own.
Okay.
So my son's was a Lego, and where you got a little piece or two of Legos every day, and you set up a scene by the end.
Cool.
And then my daughter's was, I think it was from the Body Shop. It was like, all little lotions and lip gloss and...
I had no idea such things existed.
Yeah.
Do I have time to order one in time for Advent?
You might. I mean, as of this recording time versus the time that anyone else is hearing
Listeners, you're out of luck. But I'm going to get on this.
You know what? Then you can, if you buy it now, if you buy it when it's already December, they just get to open a whole bunch at first.
Well, that's true.
That's kind of fine too.
I've always just gotten like chocolate ones, and neither of my kids are that interested in that or need it. But the little gifty things, I love that. Because we also had the experience of going away for Christmas and having everybody said, this just doesn't feel like Christmas. And then in the years since, we've done less and less for Christmas. We barely got the tree up last year. I think we put it up on Christmas Eve and took it down a few days later. So it's like, home for Christmas isn't that big a deal either, because we really don't get with relatives anymore for stuff. So it's like, well, doesn't matter where we are now for the day. So we've all been very efficient in pruning out these unhappy obligations.
Yes, which is why tomorrow we're going to talk about how we do it good enough.
Yes.
Right.
So that's it for today's round 3. Tune in tomorrow and we'll obsess about providing the perfect holiday and then come back on Friday to see what we've come up with for our Roundabout Roundup picks this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.